CPCTC. So that's the abbreviation of corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. That means if we know two triangles are congruent, then corresponding parts has to be congruent because that's the same triangle. That's pretty obvious. If, for example, if this guy is 3 inches, this has to be 3 inches because they are same triangle. If this is 50 degrees, then this has to be 50 degrees because it's corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So let's use that idea to prove that segment AD right here is congruent to segment CE given or if AB is congruent to CB. Let me use the tick mark so that I won't forget. So these are the given, right? AB is congruent to CB. And we know segment BD, this guy, is congruent to BE. That means this, if this is 5 inches, then this will be 5 inches, whatever, right? So this is what we know. And then we got to prove that this segment is congruent to this segment. So you see two triangles over here. So how do we start that, right? You see two triangles here. So we first are going to prove that these two triangles, so triangle ABD, this guy, and then triangle CBE is congruent. We're going to prove that. We can say that because segment AB is congruent to segment CB, and that's given, right? That's the condition we had. And then we know segment BD is congruent to segment BE. That's also given. What else do we know? Do you see vertical angles? Yeah, right here, this angle and this angle, no matter what angle is, these two angles must be the same because vertical angles. They're vertical angles. So we say angle ABD is congruent to angle CBE by vertical angle theorem. Okay, so we have three things. Now look at this. How do we know these two triangles are congruent? Well, we do know it because these are, remember triangle congruence postulate? So these two triangles are congruent by triangle congruence postulate, side, angle, side. Now, we're going to say these two triangles are congruent. Therefore, segment AD must be congruent to segment CE because, think about it, these two triangles are congruent. That means every part has to match. So if this is 10 inches, for example, this has to be 10 inches because otherwise it's not going to be the congruent triangles. So we say, therefore, segment AD is congruent to segment CE because by corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, or CPCTC. So this proves that these two, this pair, segment AD is congruent to segment CE.